over 900 companies reporting this week, but really all we care about are the FAANG stocks. And they're all reporting on the same day, plus another little side mini FAANG. What are their charts looking like? Who has the best chart among the FAANGs? Let's dive right in and see. So the first one out the gate is Apple. And as you can see, it has the great earnings surprise record with just that one miss back in 2016. So it's looking pretty good here. And it's busted out new all-time highs there a little bit ago here in 2020. But what about earnings? They're expected to be down in this quarter. And so a lot is riding on this earnings report, and we'll see if it can hold these kind of elevated levels because the shares are no longer cheap. Everyone associated Apple as being the cheap of the FANG stocks, but it's now trading at 28 times. How high are you willing to spend or buy to get these shares? That's the question. A lot's going on here, so this is going to be one, obviously, we're all going to be watching. And then we're going to switch up with the second A, Amazon. And Amazon's never had a good earnings surprise track record. It just had those three misses there here in 2019, 2020, because it really doesn't care whether or not it beats or misses, but it has gotten a better track record on the beat side since AWS has kind of taken over on driving the earnings. So they did have a big beat. Last quarter was the pandemic quarter, and we're all ordering everything online and going to Whole Foods and all of that. So that was a big beat. But shares a little stalled out here, trying to make new highs, which it did a little bit earlier in the year. Obviously, Amazon's never been cheap, so it's always had an elevated PE, a little more elevated now with a PE of about 100 here. It was trading as low as 75 times during the pandemic months, but a little bit more pricey. And so this has a lot of different components. We'll all be watching to see what is working for Amazon right now. Then we're going to switch over to Alphabet. Now, Alphabet also is one of those never had the greatest earnings surprise track record. It too has improved it a little bit in recent years, but it still has those two misses in the last 2 years there. It's coming off a big beat last quarter. It's now got the government moving against them for the antitrust issue, but that's a couple years down the road. You can see the shares have rebounded here, trying to get to the new 5-year highs, and they're up 18% year to date. Google/Alphabet has been among the cheaper of the FANG stocks always. Its PE is at 36, so a little bit pricier than Apple still, but much cheaper than Amazon. And obviously, again, like all of these, this is going to be one everybody's going to be tuning into. Then we're going to have Facebook. This is a big one because the shares finally did bust out to new highs here in 2020, and it's got a lot of momentum. It's put together 3 beats out of the last 4 quarters, so that's been a nice little streak to return back to some of the beats after a couple of those big misses there. But a lot going on with Facebook as well. PE is at 35 times, so still on the more affordable side, but a lot is going to be in these numbers, and I'm going to be watching to see if the boycott of Facebook, remember when that happened a couple months ago in the early summer when Facebook faced all those boycotts by a lot of influencers and things on their Instagram accounts. So how did that impact revenue? That's also going to be something to watch here. And then the secret mini FANG that I brought to complete this video is Twitter. Yes, Twitter has joined in on the hot of the FANG/social media tech stocks. Yes, it has missed 3 out of the last 4 quarters, but shares busting out to new highs here. Haven't said that in a while with Twitter. And these shares have no PE because they still are having issues on that revenue side or on the earnings side, getting that positive earnings. But shares up 53%. Here year to date now, and some momentum here that they are going to be some of the beneficiaries of some of the people who are boycotting some of the other platforms might have come over to Twitter. on the advertising front. So a lot going on with all 5 of these stocks. I know many of us own some or all of them. I own Amazon, Alphabet, and Facebook in my own portfolio. And if you own any kind of S&P 500 ETF, the QQQs, any of these, you own pieces of all of these. So this is going to be a key night. It's Thursday of this week, and it's going to be exciting. So I'm going to be tuning in, and I hope you do too. So while we're going to get a lot of excitement when these FAANG stocks report and all the other interesting companies reporting this week, the game will still go on next week. We're still going to have a couple thousand more companies set to report over the next couple of weeks, including a lot of the hot names that obviously haven't reported yet. And there's quite a few of those. You just think there aren't because FAANG has already reported. But there are, and I'm going to be covering all of them here and some of the secret charts that you should be watching as the weeks go by. So be sure to subscribe at zacks.com/YouTube to get all of our earnings all-star charts and all of our other videos, including the top stock picks of the week. You don't want to miss those either, but be sure to get them all again at zacks.com/YouTube on our YouTube channel. And I'll see you again next week with a lot of hot earnings charts.